Welcome to another video, guys. In this video we'll be doing set equation, and I am Mr. Brown, Maths and Science. We'll be looking at set equation, guys. First thing, what is a set? Set is anything that cannot be simplified. It can give you for an example, a square root. It's a set, but then there are some other square root those are not sets, like the square root of 25. It's not a set because it gives you a whole number. It's 5. It has to be something that when you press on the calculator, it will give you a number that's not possible. That's gonna give you a comma or something. For an example, square root of 35, it's equals to 5,91, right? So this is a set. This is a set, and this is not a set, guys. So here we'll be dealing at a set. Here is our set. If you look at this, you can, when you identify our set, this is our set here. The square root of 2x minus 1 is our set. So what's in this section, we'll be using the steps. We have steps for solving this, guys. The first steps, it says isolate the set, meaning that this set must be alone. And when you isolate, your set must be positive. Don't take the set and transpose it to this side where it will be negative. No, we don't want it to be negative. We want it positive, right? So isolating it, it will be like this. You'll transpose the 2 to the other side, and it will be x minus 2. That's you isolating the set. Then the second step says remove a set. How do we remove a set? Here we go, guys. Let's look at this. These are two different things, guys. These are two different things. Let's say we have 3. Let's say here we have maybe 2, right? How do we remove a square root? A square, sorry. How do we remove a square? A square, we remove it with a square root. So since math says what you do on the left, you also do on the right, you have to apply square root this side. Then this will cancel, and this will be a square root of 3, which will be a square root of 3, right? Then how do we remove a square root? You actually just square, then it will remove it. Remember, here in a square we have a 2 that you cannot be seen, so this 2 will cancel out this 2, and this square root will be invalid, then it disappears. Then math says what you do on the left, you also do on the right. You also have to apply, you also have to do the same here. Then your x in this case will be 4. This is what we're going to do here. We have a square root. How do you remove a square root? With this, right? Then what you do on the left, you also do on the right. You also do the same. Then now, since it disappeared, you have your, I can say, your new equation. Then what does the third step says? It says expand using Botman's rule. How? Bracket first, meaning we must remove this bracket. Then we must expand this so that we can remove the brackets. It will be something like this. Then when we multiply binomials, it will be this with this, and this with this, and this with this. Let me do it. It will be x squared here minus 2x minus 2x. 2 times 2, that will be positive 4. Then here, what do we do? Like terms. Then fourth step says transpose everything to one side. We transpose everything to one side. Let's take this to that side. Make sure that when you transpose everything to one side, your a here becomes a positive number. Now we look at like terms. Minus 4 minus 2, that will be minus 6x. Positive 4 plus 1, that will be 5. Then when you look at this, this is a quadratic equation. Ax squared bx plus c. I hope you saw it, guys. If you didn't see it, you need to practice more on our number 2 question, which is the quadratic equation here. How do we deal with this? It's either you factorize or use a quadratic formula. How do we factorize? You know, as what I said, for you to factorize, make sure that your a here is 1 and it's 1, meaning we'll have natural numbers, right? So now let's just use quadratic formula, or should we factorize? So for us to be safe, guys, let's use the quadratic formula. I hope you guys still remember it, guys, because if you if it's very crucial that you remember, especially in grade 11, since you're not given a formula sheet, guys, but then in grade 12 you're given a formula sheet. Now let's substitute, guys. It will be minus then you press everything on the calculator and you get that your x is, and you get that your x is 5. And here you go, guys. Remember when I said your a is 1, you will get the natural number, and here is it. It's a whole number, it's a natural number, it's 5. Then, or remember, we must have two x's here. It says our answers of x must be 2 here. X is equals to minus 6. Sorry, here I didn't choose a sign, I actually chose plus, so hence why we got 5. So here we'll choose a minus, and you'll find out that your x will be, let me press calculator first, will be a 1. Then you find your x's, meaning you have 4 marks already. Then there's this last part, you see I've highlighted it, that it's very important. What you do is that you must conclude. You take these x's, you put them here in your standard form, and if you get a 0, it means they're valid. If the answer you get is not 0, meaning it's not valid. On the one that's not valid, you either say not applicable, or you just say not equals to. You do this here. I'm not saying it is, guys, I'm just stating here. I'm just giving you guys an example. Let's put this 5 here in our standard form. Excuse me, it's a 0, guys. It is valid in most of the cases. In grade 11 it's always valid. So this question is for grade 11, guys. I wanted to cater you guys it. Then since they are both valid, you don't conclude they are both valid, then you get your 5 marks. 1 mark for isolation. There's a mark for isolation, guys. There's a mark for removing the set, and there is a mark for expanding, and there's no mark for transposing. There's a mark for factorizing and getting your 2 x's. Then there's a mark for conclusion. Thank you, guys. Let's see each other in another video. We'll be doing inequalities, guys.